UBC, inspiring Uganda.
You are watching the DOCtalk show.
Welcome, viewers. On today's episode, we are celebrating World Heart Day. And with me, I have a senior consultant, anesthesiologist, cardiac anesthesiologist, Dr. Nodreen Ayupo. Welcome, Dr. Nodreen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamara. I will start by saying consultant, not yet senior, hopefully soon.
That's consultant, cardiac anesthesiologist.
Yes.
Yes. So World Heart Day is a day that is celebrated to appreciate all the individuals that care for heart patients across the board. So this day is meant to celebrate all those individuals, plus to raise awareness and celebrate people that are living with heart diseases. So this year's theme is Don't Miss a Beat. And we are going to speak to Dr. Nodreen to give us a bit of insight into this year's World Heart Day. Dr. Nodreen, so you are a consultant cardiac anesthesiologist.
Yes.
So that means you work in the ICU. So what kind of cardiac cases typically end up in the ICU?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kamara. So cardiac anesthesiologists typically work in the cardiac operating theater, and we also currently work in the cardiac intensive care unit, which is the ICU. So a number of patients come to the ICU. I think it's easier to look at them in terms of those who have had surgery and those who have not or do not need surgery. So we look after that spectrum of patients. And for these patients, they're both children, all the way from newborns to really old people, okay? So we have patients who had heart surgeries. There are those that are open heart surgeries, those with holes in the heart that we close. We are doing that currently at the Heart Institute. We also have patients with very sick heart valves that are not functioning anymore, and we need to replace and put an artificial heart valve. So after such a surgery, because we have to stop their hearts in order to repair it and then restart it, it's quite complicated. So then they end up in the ICU for a couple of days just to make sure they're okay. We also have less, we would term them as maybe minor procedures, just because we are not having to open the heart itself, but we are working around the heart. So such patients will also come to the ICU. Then we have patients who do not need surgery, but for some reason their heart is weak, and with what we call heart failure or cardiac failure. So their heart needs, it needs to be supported with medication and other specialized treatments. And we know that the heart drives the body. So some of the patients also have their other organs quite sick, and so we need to support them in the ICU. So those are the sorts of patients that we look after. Yes.
So mostly you look after patients that have had heart surgery.
Yes.
And also those that are just critically ill.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as a cardiac anesthesiologist,
Yes.
what does your typical day look like?
Well, let me just say that a cardiac anesthesiologist day is a very early day, and it's a it can be a hectic day, but at the end of the day, it's a rewarding day. So our days typically start in, depending on whether we are in the ICU or the OR, we typically have to get in early just to get the lay of the land, prepare what we are going to use for the day. But this, I think, the purpose of our discussion, we'll talk about the ICU. So it would typically involve coming through. We work 24 hours a day. So usually you want to come in and find out what the person who did the previous shift. Let's say one person did a night shift. So you come in the morning and you need to, find out about the patient. So they'll tell you how their night was, just so you also have a beginning point and you know how the day is going to run. So then we'll look after our patients for the day. And looking after our patients is not just the patient themselves. We have the patients and their families. We have to make time to speak to the families, help them understand what's going on with their patients, and what our plans are for the day. And then as that happens, yes, we are working in the ICU, but then that means as an emergency physician, you know, we are always on call for what's coming through. So many times, however busy your day is, it is always nicely interrupted by calls for more emergencies. So we are constantly running around. So our days are quite hectic, but they're very rewarding. At the end of the day, you're quite tired, but most times you feel very fulfilled because you've done some pretty cool stuff. Yeah.
You have a very positive attitude
We have
towards
to.
it. Yes, and you're right.
Yeah.
My background is emergency medicine.
Yes.
And in the emergency department, we are always running to and fro from the ICU.
Exactly.
Because most of our patients also come very critical, and then we have to bring them to the ICU.
Right.
And one thing about the ICU, maybe people don't know, is the tests you have to run. You have to run tests
Exactly.
frequently. That's the ward in the hospital where you might have to run a test hourly, every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yes, unlike what you probably know.
Yeah.
Like at one test in a week or a month. In the ICU, tests are run sometimes every 30 minutes,
Absolutely.
every hour, every 6 hours.
And the monitoring is constant. Exactly.
So it's quite a bit of work.
Yes.
And so what as a cardiac anesthesiologist,
Yes.
You said what kind of cases do you often see?
I think we see a variety of patients. For on the congenital side, obviously, I think the cases of congenital heart disease are pretty similar throughout the world. And in Uganda, we know we have a very high fertility rate. So we are constantly getting patients, newborns with heart disease, and also even older patients, because of all the awareness now and the more screening and more professionals that we have identifying patients. We are seeing a lot of grown-ups being diagnosed with conditions that should have been gotten when they were little babies. So we are seeing a lot of that, but also because of lifestyle changes and, you know, better cost of living, I guess, we're having a lot of non-communicable disease. So we're seeing a lot of hypertension coming up. We're seeing a lot of young people with heart failure and heart attacks, myocardial infarctions. So we're seeing a broad spectrum of heart disease right now. Whatever you can think of, we're seeing it, and we're looking after them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So in light of that, all these cases that you see in the ICU, what advice would you give to the general public concerning early intervention, maybe concerning recognizing some of these symptoms early,
Yeah.
given that you see them on the very worst end of the spectrum? You see them at the very extreme
Yeah.
worst part of this whole spectrum. What advice would you give?
Okay. The theme of the World Heart Day this year is don't miss a beat, and the thinking behind that is that do not take anything for granted. Start early, and I think I will take it from there. So it's important that I think even from when you're preparing to have a child, let's be healthy about it. Take your supplements and things like that. And then once you're pregnant, I advise all women. I know many times after people have had a couple of children, they take antenatal for granted, but it's very important to go for your antenatal. And now we actually have fetal cardiac echoes that are done. It's very possible for you to come to the Heart Institute and have the heart of your baby scanned before you give birth. So you're able to find out whether your baby has a heart disease or not. And then if it's a really bad heart disease, you can then plan with the team how to proceed, right? And then just to have a good health-seeking behavior. We are not very good at that in Africa. We wait for when something goes wrong, then you want to run to the hospital. Yes, but we need to start to go for screenings, go for regular screenings, get checked out. It's very okay to have a blood pressure machine at home, you know, do that. And let's also be healthy. We need to eat right. I know we keep talking about eating fruit and, it's not the boring stuff, it's actually the nice stuff. So we need to eat right, we need to work out, stay active, and then just read, get information. There's a lot of information on the internet, so read about some of these symptoms, and it can also point you in the right direction. Yeah.
I was just about to ask you what the meaning of this year's theme is.
Yes.
Don't miss a beat, and you've answered that. So, Don't Miss a Beat is this year's theme, and basically it's saying remain aware.
Yes.
Keep on checking, keep on screening yourself, become as aware as you can about your body, about cardiac diseases, or as in medicine we call them cardiovascular diseases. Become as knowledgeable as you can about them, and as aware as you can about your body, because everyone knows when something isn't right in their body. In emergency medicine, we say that one of the biggest indicators that something isn't right is just someone saying, I don't feel okay. Like, just the fact that you don't feel okay, you should that's a warning sign enough. You should you should go and have yourself checked.
Absolutely.
Yes. So right here today we have some free screening. What from your perspective, what kind of screening would you recommend to someone, to let's say a young adult or any adult right now that's just living their lives, going day to day, going to work, going back home? What kind of screening would you recommend that they do?
Okay, so right now we are doing just basic cardiac screening, and that means we are taking your vital signs that are, indicators of your heart function. So we are taking your heart rate, we're taking your oxygenation, because the heart pumps blood to the lungs to get oxygen, then to the rest of the body. We're taking your blood pressure, okay? We're also doing cholesterol levels for the patients. Then we're also taking your sugar levels. We know that the commonest risk factors for chronic heart disease are diabetes and hypertension, and that's why we're focused on that. I would just advise young adults to, you can walk to any clinic and get those basics taken, because they're indicators. As I said, we're having a lot of younger people now coming in with diabetes and hypertension. So just go get your sugars checked out. If your blood sugar is high, then they can refer you to another facility to do more advanced testing. Likewise, if your blood pressure is high, then they can refer you maybe to see a cardiologist. And sometimes it may not be, a heart-related condition. Could be something else that's causing that. So just start with those basic numbers. But then we have a number of facilities now that are able to do basic or annual checks based on your age group. So go to your health facility and ask about those services. They are available. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Nodreen. One of the things you've said that stood out to me is why we are concentrating on blood sugar control and blood pressure control, because I see the plaques everywhere.
Exactly.
Keep your blood sugar regulated, keep your blood pressure regulated, and this is because hypertension or high blood pressure and diabetes are one of our biggest risk factors for heart disease here in Uganda.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nodreen.
Thank you for having me.
It's been lovely speaking to you on this World Heart Day celebration. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You are watching the DOCtalk show.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from partners.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UCUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UCSAF, and we're happy that UCSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What did we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
You are watching the DOCtalk show.
Welcome back from that short break. And with me here, I'm privileged to be able to speak to one of the key stakeholders in combating cardiovascular disease in Uganda. I'm joined by Dr. John Omagino, who is the Executive Director of the Uganda Heart Institute and also a Senior Consultant Cardiologist himself. Welcome, Dr. John. Dr. John is going to take us through why is the theme Don't Miss a Beat on this World Heart Day, why this theme, why now, and give us an overview of the cardiovascular disease landscape in Uganda and what strategic plan is in place to combat the increase of cardiovascular diseases in Uganda.
Thank you very much. Today we are celebrating the World Heart Day, and all over the world, this year we have been given a theme of don't miss a beat. Now, a beat is a heartbeat. The heart beats about 72 times per minute for it to deliver enough blood to the rest of the body to maintain life. Now, the fright in the world is that heart disease is the biggest single cause of death, especially so in the adults. World over, we are losing over 20 million. It is 20 point something like 8 million per year. Now look at the population of Uganda. We are about 45 million people. So the number of people we lose in 2 years is equivalent to the population of Uganda. And we cannot allow that to go on. It is still continuing. And the increase as we talk now is most of it is in the third world countries, including Uganda. Now, while the West has developed mechanisms for combating this, for us in Uganda, the latest data we have is that 1 in 4 adults already have hypertension, and that hypertension is a precursor to heart disease. Now, it is even more disturbing that 80% of even those ones who have that disease do not know, meaning there is a knowledge gap. And that is the reason that we must move the next stage of really raising the awareness of heart disease in the country. So we move up with we have to move on with the theme, reminding everybody to check on his heart. It is a problem. You don't have to be diseased, but if we can, even if you find it normal, we have to keep it normal. If in case there is a problem, we pick it early. So now, if you come to Uganda and say, what is the magnitude? We have told you, in the adults, we're already talking about a quarter of the adult population already has heart disease. That magnitude is bigger than even what AIDS was at the highest level. So by virtue of that alone, the response we are demanding, or which is required, is far bigger than that one which was put by this country on to combat HIV. So we have to up the game to that level. Now, when we look at what is being done to be able to do that, good enough, that information, and the government, and with the leadership, the president particularly, he has really taken it serious. We have now to go on the side of prevention. The drivers of heart disease are things like hypertension, high weight, that is obesity, that is eating this fast foods, that is low activity, that is high salt, this salt we put in food, the issue of these other ingested agents like alcohol or tobacco. Those ones are things we can address, and the government has put in policies to do that. We have a tobacco law, we have an alcohol law, and now on physical exercise, the government has already put in fact, the president, we have declared a national physical exercise day, and the president had to launch it, and we have moved in the streets of Kampala with him to demonstrate that things can work out. We now have another policy directive. Every workplace should have a physical exercise day twice a week. Now we have moved and got another directive: no registration of a school when it cannot show a playing space for children to play. Now we are moving on to control even these levels of salt, levels of cooking. All those ones we are now moving on. So those are remedies. Now when we come to schools, we are popularizing physical exercise, not just as an academic or things for competition. It is normal for health. Now we are moving even to the community. The community health, the community centers, we must resume. Those days, all community centers in all the hard football and these physical activity areas. We now have these places like local governments. We are now in the mayor's garden. This place should have, there's a golf course, there should be volleyball place, there should be all these things. So as a government, we are moving that direction. So Heart Institute was given a law, an act, the Uganda Heart Institute Act 2016, to be able to guide and to take on the mantle of coordinating the prevention and management of cardiac disease. So we are here rolling out that. The key issues is to promote normal health, physical exercise and the diet and the food and the rest of the things. Two, we are here to coordinate management. And management is improving diagnosis, early diagnosis, and now the facility in the Heart Institute, and we are replicating it to the region and the rest of the place, should be able to catch 95 and above % of all heart disease. Now, as a country, there is no need to go out for diagnosis. Now, when it comes to management, as you are seeing all this one, technically we have developed capacity to handle almost 95% amongst adults. These things of interventions, cardiac, stents in the earth lab, all those ones now you see we are doing them. The job is to multiply them such that we get the regions. And next is the issues of in the children. We can now handle technically up to 85%. Now what it means is expansion. So in the area of expansion, as we are building this facility, which has been fully funded by government through the loans and the rest of the thing, on 10 acres in Naguru, we are now starting on the regionalization. So as we talk, we are doing closed heart procedures at the regional centers. We have done successfully in Barara. We have done over 20 kids. We have done in the Jinja. The last one was in Lira. And in Lira, it has now placed and woken up everybody and build confidence that you mean we can touch a heart outside the Uganda Art Institute, outside the Kampala, outside the Mulago. And these children are dancing and parents are very happy. So the issue really is, our aim is to position Uganda as a medical tourist destination by stopping referrals and instead reverse, so that we start attracting even, we develop enough capacity to do our load and also attract referrals from abroad, which we are doing. So in the area of training, building capacity, we have 13 approved fellowship programs of training all the various sub-skills. That is the surgical ones, adult and pediatric cardiac surgery. The pediatric and adult, let me say, and each one of them is adult and pediatric. So we are developing 4 teams in everything. So you train the entire team, the surgeons, the anesthetists, the intensivists, the nurses, the perfusionists, the biomedical engineers, and all groups down up to laboratory technologies in our area. And we are doing this for the nation. Now, if you say human resource, you are training, when will you cover? Right now, our class is at least 40 students, and they are being drawn from within the country and even the regional the regional centers, and even the countries around. We have students for super specialization on the fellowship programs right from Cameroon, Liberia, Burkina Faso, across up to Zambia, and we have the latest applicants are from Tanzania and Botswana. They value our program because the American College of Cardiologists and the European College, they recognize and respect our products. So we are doing all that to improve the issue of capacity development. So most of the people you see working and doing all this are youngsters, and they are Ugandans, and you know them. And they are doing all this, and before they even cross 35 years, they have developed all that confidence. Now you look at the side of research. We must generate our own research findings to guide our national policies. We can't depend on what. So right now in research, Uganda is at the top. Every year we are producing 20 publications in top-notch journals, like even New England Journal. So now the issue is, you can now not talk about research in some of these areas without talking about Uganda. Just Google, we are now there. So we compete favorably for all these grants, and we are now recognized for some of these multi-centered clinical trials. And there we are moving. So the future is bright. We are training for both the center and the regional hospitals. And now the other bit is, as we are constructing this hospital, we have churned out the next project. This one is complete, literally. The money is there, everything is there. 2 years, we should be able to be commissioning a turnkey. Now it is to move the regional centers. We have 16 regional centers, right from Moroto, Lira, Gulu, Arua, Soroti, Mbale, Jinja. We have the other side, Yumbe, we have Kawolo, then we have Masindi, Fort Poto, Masaka, you go to Mbarara and Kabale. Then you add on Mbuya is separate, but we give them the coverage. And soon even Entebbe will be qualifying for a regional hospital. So we have a target of 16. We shall be parceling them in 4. But once the approval comes, so even those ones, now we are training the people to put them, and in the human resource structure, we have approved positions already for the regional hospitals to have cardiologists, intensivists, all these other groups. So to us, the problem has been quashed. We have the data, we have the magnitude, we have what it takes. The money to build all these ones and the running, we are soon getting oil. There is no problem. Money follows the plans. There is no problem. So the other side is our population and the prevention. So we are now putting a very huge focus on public awareness, and for us, the children. That is why we have now moved in working with education in the curriculum of primary education, senior secondary education. Cardiac care is there. Cardiac care is there. So prevention. So I can talk and talk, but the most important thing is that 3 messages. 1, cardiac disease is there. We now have the data and know the magnitude. 2 is the plan to manage it. It is through education, through the prevention and the public awareness, and then we know the lifestyle modifications to enforce, and finally it is to manage those ones who break through, like babies who are born with defects. We have to catch them and treat, early diagnosis, and we intervene, Then the other one is rehabilitation. We have just come back from Botswana for the African palliative program for end of care, and everybody is so surprised where we have gone. We have reached that level now. People have PhDs. Our nurses can prescribe morphine. We have the education programs. People are able to do. We are teaching across the board. So everything is working out. Finally, it is government support. The government has realized and has given us the full support. So now everywhere, right from the president down to the local LOCs, we have that support.
Thank you very much, Dr. John Omagino. So you've given us a very exhaustive view of what's been happening. And as a country, I'm glad that we've taken such active and positive steps to encourage people to live healthy lifestyles, to do lifestyle modifications. And also the advancements in cardiac care are quite good for the population. Thank you very much. And we are going to take another break, but we shall be back. Thank you for watching the DOCtalk show.
You are watching the DOCtalk show.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from partners.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
You are watching the DOCtalk show.
As a ministry, we've launched what we call self-care. And I would want to speak to you who are here that self-care is really how do you take about yourself to be able to do health promotion, disease prevention, or manage any element in the presence or absence of a health worker. And self-care is also self-love. And there are many small things which you as individual can do. And that's why we're saying that we need to invest in health literacy, the same way we invest in financial literacy. Because people are talking more, you find people put an investment, this meeting, and people are discussing about what? Money, but they're not putting any meeting to discuss about their what? Their own health. The chair has highlighted the aspect of 1 in 4 having high blood pressure. As if that's not bad. 80% of actually don't know even that they actually have what? High blood pressure. So that's the reason why we want here. How much salt, how much exercise, how much do you raise your elbow? I don't not say that you don't raise your elbow. I'm saying I don't want to be like Omagino says, don't drink. I was saying, smoking, all those issues. And those are things which are within your what? Control. Because managing an NCD, you need to be able to manage NCD, and there are people managing NCD, and it means that you will spend on medication the cost which is much more than for you to take even care of your family. It's even much more than the money you put in to buy what? To buy food. So that's why we're saying that we need to spread this gospel, not according to St. Charles. We need to spread this gospel much more earlier to young people, because when now complications already start, then it becomes very challenging. So self-care is the way to go. I see the bottles on your tables, and I'm sure that many of you actually are going to leave those bottles there. And yet your kidneys are yawning to be able to do what? 30 minutes of exercise, good sleep. How do you manage stress? Are you who just even hearing just one rumor or whatever, it derails you and already you are stressed and you will not be able even to greet even your own family or your... How do you handle those things? And all those things kind of what? Address. So allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the speech of the Honorable Minister. It's a great honor to join you today as we commemorate the World Heart Day 2025 under the theme Don't Miss a Beat. The theme is a call for all of us, government, institutions, communities, and individuals, that each heartbeat matters. And I don't think there's anybody here who wants to miss a heartbeat. Because if you miss a heartbeat, it might be a beginning of many not good things. So every heartbeat matters. Thank you to all who walked the talk this morning during the heart awareness walk through Entebbe town and planted trees. These trees are a powerful symbol of life and the strength, reminding us that just as the tree requires care and nurturing to grow, so too must we look after and protect our hearts. So just like we have asked the people and the municipal take good care of those trees, we really, as ministry, would like that you take care of your what? Your heart. Whereas Omagino mentioned here that, and the chair mentioned about the heart facility, which is being put. But why should all of us come there? We should probably just come for a checkup, but not necessarily that we have come there as what? Patients. So this can now just become, would want that it does more of a wellness function than probably addressing what? Because whereas he's saying that his capacity is expanding from 1,000 operation to 5,000, but now if the cases become more, it will expand what? And then his heart, which is also the Heart Institute, we cannot be able to hold now this big demand. So let's be able to see that we do that. I'm delighted Uganda Heart Institute is offering the heart screening here today. So let's take this opportunity. It's not only limited to those people who are outside, even us in the tent. Let's utilize this what? This service. I had the opportunity to check my sugar. I also had the opportunity to check my blood pressure. And I must say, at least I was given a clean billing. So, but the challenge is that how do I keep it there? Because it's sometimes very good to do that, but because the blood pressure is once off. But how do you do what? Keep it there. And how often do you what? Monitor it. I encourage each one of you to pass by the screening tent and have your heart checked. This is a simple act that will make a difference. I am sure that within here, there are people who have checked, probably have walked here, they did not know about it, but they have been able to be guided that probably they need a follow-up. It will make a very big difference in safeguarding your health and reducing the burden of heart disease. So ladies and gentlemen, cardiovascular diseases are a leading cause of death worldwide, claiming over 20 million lives every year. In Uganda, they are rapidly emerging as a major health concern, particularly affecting young people and productive population. So the heart diseases are no longer waiting just for older people like us. It's even affecting young people and productive population. So today, 1 in 4, I will have mentioned that 16 are estimated to suffer from congenital. The chair has also mentioned that. and half of whom require urgent surgery. It is for this reason government of Uganda invested in construction of the through Ministry of Health and the Heart Institute in availing the platforms which are possible to prevent management of heart diseases, including initiatives as the ongoing screening here. I'm greatly encouraged by the remarkable progress made by the Uganda Heart Institute in bringing specialized care closer to the people. The digitalization of the health services for the surgical camps in Imbarara, Jinja, Lira, and the other regional referral is clearly demonstrated that what it means truly to serve the communities. Because if you remain, the ED had started to clap. I think I am making some sense. Let's clap. So these initiatives are saving lives. There are many lives. I think we visited one of the demonstration, and the surgeons told us at least they are able to do almost 8 to 10 cases every other time. So the numbers are what? Are building, and this every life matters. And this can be you or another person or your relative. So these services are there. I'm pleased. I want first to commend the Heart Institute for not treating patients but also building capacity of the regional teams. So when they are visiting these facilities, they are building capacity, they are doing a lot of research and strengthening our referral pathways, and is exactly the spirit of resilient health systems. One that empowers regions to serve their people better while lightening the load on the national referral hospital. Because if you don't do it, then everybody will come to Kampala and you will find congestion. What I did not tell you when I was beginning this speech, because as I told you, it's the minister's speech. So if it's long, I put a disclaimer. It's really the minister's speech. So I want you to give me secure endurance. I'm pleased to report that government will soon be delivering a one-stop center for the heart care in Uganda. It's unfortunate that the ED forgot. He should have probably shown you the video that this is real, and you can visit it in Naguru. You can be able to see it, that is off the ground, and you can be able to see that the work is progressing well. So the ED, when do we expect to be there? Where's the mic?
The handover date, if everything goes well, is 27th February 2027. It is a turn key.
Okay. So don't say that's a very short time, because we have been waiting for all what? The many years. So that's up to 27th April 2027 Feb 2027 will be one. So this is in Naguru, and it will be completed and will be a state of what? A state-of-heart facility which will transform the landscape. So will not deliver services only for Ugandans, but all the other countries in the region. And we really would want that we stop leakage of foreign. On behalf of the NRM government and the Ministry of Health, I reaffirm our full commitment to ensuring the successful completion of this project within the contracted timeline of 2027. The Honorable Minister told me to emphasize that point, and allow me just to re-echo it, because she's the one actually told me that to emphasize it. She said that on behalf of the NRM government and the Ministry of Health, I reaffirm our full commitment to ensuring that successful completion of this project within the contracted time of 27. As we mark the World Health Day 2025, I appeal to every Ugandan to take ownership. So if the heart is yours, so it appeals you to take ownership of your heart. Know your numbers, your blood pressure, your blood sugar, your cholesterol. And here she says what you should avoid. Avoid tobacco, eat healthy, stay physically active, and go for regular checks. I wanted again that all of you see the traffic lights. There's green, is yellow, amber, and then red. So when it's still green, that's when you should go for what? Checks. Because going now when it's already amber, it's already too late. So when we talk of primary prevention, actually you should be able to go when it's what? Green. But I know of one gender in this country, I think worldwide, the men, even when it's amber or yellow, they are still strong. It's only when it reaches red, that's when they look that they have to be carried to the what? To the health facility. So my colleagues, the men, let's embrace what? Because if you actually go and look at the statistics there, you might actually find that there are more females than what? Than the men who have gone there. So men, we don't want to say when to go to the burial that the time has come, God has called him. I think my predecessor, Professor Maso, has said, I don't think God really hates the Africans or Ugandans and then loves the Japanese because they are living what? Longer. So let's do what it's supposed to do. So if we are talking of their life expectancy now at 68.3, but that's just an average. Why should you not be able to extend it? So regular checks, regular physical activity, eat healthy, tobacco. I think you heard from the debate, we are what we eat. So they did mention that. So as I conclude, on behalf of government, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to His Excellency the President, the government of Uganda, for the continued support for the health sector, especially towards the Uganda health infrastructure. I think His Excellency deserves really bigger. He has really been a champion. Omagino here knows, and he has been having really listening here on this. Our development partners, I think you've seen the Acheto drawing. Our development partners who continue to stand with us in building a stronger, healthier nation. The leadership of Entebbe municipality for co-hosting us, but also looking at that this is a gateway to Uganda.
This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from partners.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.